Hey there, second grade. Miss Hershey here with our first project for the third trimester. This is going to be our sunset silhouette. So I'm going to teach you guys how to do a watercolor ombre, which is where different colors fade into each other. So my paper is the watercolor paper that was in your packet. Hopefully you've picked up your packet from the school, and it is tall and skinny portrait style. I also have 2 cups of water. I'm going to try to get them so you can see them both. I have my watercolor palette, and I have 2 brushes. I have a big brush and a small brush. And we are going to do the wet on wet method today, which means we are painting wet paint onto wet paper. So I'm going to start at the bottom of my paper, and I'm going to spread it up about pretty much the whole way. Actually, let's do the whole way. So this is just water, clean water on my paper, just to get it wet. It might buckle a little bit, but that's okay. And what that's going to do is that's going to help our colors transition smoothly into each other. And I'm going to go ahead, and the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my water and I'm going to get some of my colors wet. So I'm just going to brush a little bit of color onto my watercolors to get them a little wet, so that they're already sort of getting wet for use, because they do need to be wet to use, and I want them to be nice and ready to go. So I'm going to use this bigger brush. If you have a smaller brush, it'll be fine. If you have the brush that came with your watercolors and that's the only one you have, it's going to be a little bit harder for you because it's a small brush, but it is definitely doable. So I'm going to keep my paper wet. And I'm going to start with blue. Let's see. So I'm going to start with a kind of a blue-green. Now, if you only have one blue, just start with your blue. And I'm going to start at the top, and I'm painting side to side. I am going horizontally along my paper, and I'm bringing that color down until it's almost gone. And then I'm going to rinse my brush. The reason for 2 cups is just in case my water gets too dirty, I want to have an option of a different water cup. We may or may not use that. So there's still blue in my brush. I can see it in the water I'm wiping off. Still some blue in my brush. Okay, nice clean brush. And now I'm going to go to the regular blue. Now, if you did regular blue only, you don't have 2 blues, then you're just going to do a little bit more blue than I did. I'm going to bring this down again horizontally, and then I'm going to work it up into that blue-green color. And there's not a huge difference in these 2 colors. It happens. I'm going to wipe gently. Wiping gently. Okay. And I'm going to go to my clean water now because that water is kind of blue. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on top of my blue with just clean water, and I'm going to bring it down a little bit. So clean water on the blue and bringing it down a little bit. So you can see now where I have it fading from blue to white, and that is the creation of the ombre. So we've got blue, and it gets lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter until eventually there's no blue. That is the ombre effect we are talking about. Now what we can do is we can make this darker at the top. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take some purple, get a little purple on my brush, and you see that paint moving there? That is the wet on wet technique. That is the paints merging together in the water. The water is helping them merge together. And I want this to be a little bit darker up top, but not too much. And I really don't want to go too far down with it, because that will start to ruin that ombre effect that I've created. So you can either let this dry and come back and do the second part of this video if you don't feel confident, or you can keep going. This is going to be a 2-week project. There's it's 2 parts. So the painting is part 1, and then the paper collage is part 2. But if you want to let this dry and come back, you can, because this is a little bit of a harder technique. I'm going to swap out this blue water for some clean water. And we're going to start on the bottom here with a little bit of orange. So I'm going to start again horizontally, side to side. My paper's a little drier. You can actually tell that it's drier by the way the paint is laying on it, which isn't the best thing. So let's rinse this brush, wipe it gently, and get some more water mixed in there. And we're going to go up into that white. Okay. So now we've sort of got the purple to blue to light blue to white to very light yellow down into orange. So that's what we're trying to do here. And then I'm going to take just a hint of yellow, just a little bit of yellow on my brush, and I'm going to kind of go in the middle of my orange up into that white, just very lightly, and then back down. So we get that kind of strip of yellow. So we're going to do that, and then you're going to smooth it out. And then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of magenta or pink right here at the bottom. You're going to blend that up into the orange. And then you're going to let that dry overnight before you do part 2. I don't want you guys to do the part 2 video today. I want you to wait until either later tonight or tomorrow, but I want this to be nice and dry for the next step. So once you've got your ombre, your purple, blue, white, yellow, orange, pink, let it dry. I'll see you guys next time, guys. Bye!